Very good morning, my dear students. This is L.K. Tripathi, your SST teacher from Lakshmi Prasad Memorial Public School, Gola Bazar. Dear children, today we have to discuss about the political supremacy, colonial rule in India. This chapter will provide us a lot of information about the political supremacy when British established their power in India, what type of changes took place in the country. All these things we have to discuss in this video. So let's get started. India was a prominent player in the field of trade and commerce since ancient times. Seals found from Harappan and Mesopotamian sites point towards a mutually advantageous state between the two civilizations and the use of canoes for transporting goods from one destination to the other. Since barter was the only method of exchange, it was usually those goods which were not available at one place that were exchanged with goods that were in abundance. How do you think this benefited both civilizations? We have to discuss about all these facts. So many evidences are there. They are available with us from the Harappan site and other excavation from other type of sources about which we know about the supremacy of the colonial era. Now let's get started from here. The Mughal Empire founded by Babur in 1526 began to decline following the death of Aurangzeb. Babur is known as the founder of the Mughal dynasty. He founded this dynasty in India in 1526. And after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707, the power of Mughal declined. Aurangzeb is known as the last great Mughals of this dynasty. As you know, he died in 1707. By 1750, the Mughal Empire had been reduced to just a faint shadow of its illustrious past. By the end of 1750, this dynasty reduced its power and the glorious past ended of this dynasty. It had already disintegrated, yielding place to a number of regional kingdoms. This situation proved to be a blessing in disguise for the English East India Company, that is known EIC, which was keen to play a dominant role in the political and economic affairs of the Indian subcontinent. This is very fact. After the decline of Mughal power, it opened the door for the Europeans, for the British to enter in India, and gradually they established their power in the country and they took benefit of the disintegration of the power of Mughal, those who are known as later Mughals. After the death of Aurangzeb, rest of the Mughal rulers are known as later Mughals. Mercantilism. Mercantilism means what? Mercantilism means commerce, commercial activities. About the commercial activities of the European, we have to see here. In Europe, mercantilism became a popular economic theory and practice from the 17th century. It held that the prosperity of a country depended on its capability to produce more than it consumed and export more than it imported in order to maintain a positive balance of trade. Overseas trade carried out by the sea routes was the most important feature of the practice of mercantilism. The origin of the English East India Company and its powers lay in the economic theory and practice of mercantilism. Origin of the EIC. The EIC was established in London in the year 1600 by a royal charter issued by Queen Elizabeth I, the Queen of England. According to this charter, the company got the sole rights of trade in the East Indies, which included all places east of Cape of Good Hope. Number second, early years of the EIC. About EIC means English East India Company. We have to study about the early years of this company. Captain William Hawkins led the first voyage of the EIC to India in 1608. First time they entered in India in 1608. The voyager was Captain William Hawkins. He came from the sea route to India. His crew sailed into the port of Surat. He succeeded in obtaining certain trade concessions from the then Mughal Emperor Jahangir. As a result, a trading post of factory was established in Surat by the English in 1630. In 1650, Sir Thomas Roe arrived in India as the ambassador of King James I of England. He received a royal firman from the Mughal Emperor Jahangir. This royal order allowed the EIC to set up factories in Agra, Bhruch, Ahmedabad and some other places. Prior to Roe's visit to India, the first English factory in South India was established in Masulipatam in 1611. Subsequently, the first English factories in Eastern India were established in Balasore in 1633 and Hooghly 1651. Besides, the EIC also began to set up much bigger and roughly verified ablation and the possibility that opened the door for them to enter in India via Madras, Bombay and Calcutta. These were known as the port towns those days. And also they set up their fort, that is known Fort St. George in Madras. First time they set up their power in Madras in 1619, and the proof their power in India, also they acquired huge part of the land at which they had received on lease from the royal order. In 1668, the islands of Bombay under Portuguese control was given away in dowry to the English King Charles II by his father-in-law and the King of Portugal. First time, because Portuguese were already in India, they were trading here, they were engaged in the commercial activities. So, there was a good relationship, matrimonial relationship between British and Portuguese. As a result, the British had got the dowry which was given to King Charles II by his father-in-law and the King of Portugal. ये दोनों राजा पुर्तगाल के और ब्रिटिश के राजा में मैट्रिमोनियल रिलेशनशिप होने के नाते यहाँ उनको ग्रांट में उनको डावरी में बहुत सारी ज़मीनें दी गई थी. Shortly afterwards, the EIC got it from Charles II on lease and fortified it for protection against the Maratha. Soon Bombay became an important base of the EIC in India. In 1698, the company got the Samidari of 3 villages of Suranati, Govindpur and Kolkata and built Fort William around its factory. That was how the city of Calcutta came into existence. In 1717, the Mughal ruler Farrukh Shah issued a farman confirming the EIC's right to trade in Bengal, Bihar and Odisha upon an annual payment of a nominal sum. They also got the additional rights to trade in the Deccan and Gujarat. The EIC and other European companies made huge profits by the trade concessions they got from the Indian rulers. They bought goods, especially cotton cloths, silk, spices, salt trade, etc. in India and exported them to Europe. Next, that is the EIC's European rivals, the Portuguese. In 1498, Portuguese navigator and explorer Vasco da Gama discovered the new sea route that linked India to Europe via the Cape of Good Hope. The route taken by Vasco da Gama's crew can be represented at Europe, West African coast, Southern Africa, Cape of Good Hope, Calicut. This had become necessary because of the rise of the Ottoman Empire in Turkey and West Asia that prevented European traders from using the traditional land routes. Subsequently, several groups of Portuguese traders reached the Malabar coast in South India. They established settlements at Calicut, Cochin, Goa, Daman and Diu. Goa continued to be occupied by the Portuguese till 1968, when it was liberated and became a part of India. The Portuguese were the first European power to establish their trading and administrative centers in India as well as many other parts of Southeast Asia. They controlled several important sea routes in the region. After the arrival of other more powerful trade rivals from Emperor Europe, however, the Portuguese could only manage to retain their possession in Western India. In this way, we have seen that how British or AIC established their power in this country and became powerful in coming times gradually. Now there is an important point to discuss, good to know, that is Vasco da Gama's expedition involved a fleet of 4 ships including São Gabriel, commanded by Vasco da Gama himself, and São Rafael, commanded by his brother Paulo da Gama. The fleet, with a crew of about 170 people, set sail from Portugal's capital, Lisbon, on 8 July 1497. And after more than 10 months, reached Calicut, India, on 20th May 1498. In this way, Vasco da Gama, the first Portuguese navigator who sailed with his 170 people to India and started on 8 July 1497 and reached here at Calicut on 20 May 1498. So, we have discussed about this chapter, about this topic up to here. Rest discussion of the same chapter will be taking place in coming days. Till then, do your task properly, be responsible. We shall be meeting again. Thank you.